DWIZ, programang sasakuhin ang iba't ibang isyu at mga balita. Karambola sa DWIZ. Tatalakayin, hihimayin at pagtatalunan ang iba't ibang mga isyu. Karambola sa DWIZ, programang pwede kang mag-winshot, pero pwede ka rin mas-crash. At ngayon, narito na ang inyong mga karambulista at ang programa Karambola sa DWIZ. Karambola.
Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Narito po tayo sa Karambola sa DWIC. Huwag po kayo mag-alala, hindi lang ako nandito, medyo nasa labas lang, nasa kabilang kwarto si Attorney Trixie at eto na, humahangos. Tuloy ko na ba to? Tuloy-tuloy na. Monday, Lunes tayo ngayon. Nawala yung kalendaryo natin. May 15, di ba? Tama ba ako? Mayo ang 15. Tama, Mayo ang 15.
Yes, today is the 15th.
The 15th.
15.
Oo, at katatapos lang ng Mother's Day. Kaya medyo ako'y namamaos at medyo kailangan mag-exercise muna at busog na weekend. Magandang umaga po sa lahat. Mapanunod nyo ang Karambola at mapakinggan kami via website www.dwiz882am.com at mangyaring i-download lang ang DWIZ app sa iOS at Android DWIZ. Live din kami via DWIZ 882 Facebook page at YouTube channel na DWIZ. Para sa aming hotline, tandaan nyo lang, ang aming hotline ay 8470-1750-254 at ang text line namin ay 0999-376-6768. Nabasa ko na. Tayo po ay mapapanood via test broadcast sa Digital Free TV na Aliw 23 sa Sky Cable Channel 72, TV Plus Channel 27 at GMA Affordabox Channel 32. Available din po kami sa digital TV devices at TV receivers. Kamera natin na manang hiyas. Available din po kami sa digital TV devices at TV receivers. At mangyari lamang, scan nyo lang ang inyong device, ang inyong digital TVs at channel boxes upang mapanood ang Aliw 23. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat.
Magandang umaga. Oo, sakto. Buti pag ikaw ang nag-iinto, nakakainom ako ng kape.
Very good. Sorry, next time. Ano lang, nahirap talagang basahin. Talagang dumodoble sa akin.
Totoo naman yan.
Ayos naman. Wala si paring Conrad. Actually, meron siyang mahalagang gawain. Kaya ako magpa-fashion, coming from the Miss Universe Philippines, kailangan biyasa tayo sa pagbig. Ako, hindi ko ma-describe to. Basta you're wearing something black.
And black, actually, it's dark blue.
It's dark blue.
Yeah.
It's a dress na dress na buo at naka-sandals.
Light denim siya actually.
Right, so
gold
kumusta ang weekend mo? Kumusta ang Mother's Day, Attorney Trixie?
Busog. I think I ate my way through the weekend.
Tayo.
Parang ganon. Walang diet. Oh my gosh.
Pero grabe, punong-puno lahat ng mga restaurant, until the evening.
My kids had to make reservations. Para siguradong makaupo kami.
Walang kinalaman kung it's a high-end restaurant, it's a fast food, or it's di ba yung
dinig ko puno din yung mga Jollibee tsaka McDo.
Kasi nung gabi after mass, we decided to go to this one place na popular na hindi ko akalain lahat ng outlets pati yung parking puno. Ayos naman, masaya lahat. Happy Mother's Day, belated Happy Mother's Day sa lahat ng mga ina out there.
Yes.
Pag tinignan mo yung Facebook, ang daming mga hugot Ikaw rin may pinost ka na.
Ano ba yung hinuhugot ko?
Hindi na mahugot ang...
Hindi, taon-taon yan Kasi, di ba, everybody, your newsfeed gets filled with Happy Mother's Day, Happy Mother's Day. But not everybody has a good relationship with their mother or their families.
Okay.
Not everybody has a relationship or there are dysfunctional families and there are abusive relationships.
Hindi ko inisip banggitin yung mga yan, pero...
Everybody, obviously, may nanay yan. Pero hindi lahat ng nanay ay ideal.
Okay.
Diba? And then there are some who have lost their mothers, so medyo masakit ang Mother's Day for them.
Well,
So I always greet everybody who's not in the mainstream, who's not, who na may kagat yung Mother's Day para sa kanila.
Ako naman dahil eternal optimist at mahilig ako sa pelikula at mahilig ako magbasa ng mga nobela minsan. I do know na, there are times at sa tunay na buhay din na kasi ang ina, depende kung nanay mo or mother-in-law or asawa at nanay ng iyong mga anak o ng mga yung bang siyempre ang mga nanay, ang mga meron silang kanya-kanyang sariling technique or
ay meron pa.
Not walang one size fits all.
Mga fur moms. Yung mga fur moms. Yung may mga alaga. Aso, pusa, fur moms.
Diba? But what I'm saying is
nobody says that the mother part has to be human.
What I'm saying is ang mga ina is may kanya-kanyang estilo. Sometimes iba ang hugot, iba ang estilo. I mean, for example, kung nasanay ka sa nanay mo, then makakakilala ka ng mother-in-law or something. Now, ibang-iba yung style nila, but at the end of the day, they're both their hearts in the right place. Pero kanya-kanyang but one thing is for sure, napansin ko lang sa mga ina, I don't know for our listeners out there, ang mga nanay parang hardinero. May garden, may halamanan. Didiligan nila kung alin yung problemadong tumubo.
Totoo yan.
Tapos makikita mo yung mga naman na maayos ang tubo pero naasar na. Pucha, bakit yun eh?
Bakit may tinutulungan yan?
Always been here.
May kailangan ng tulong.
Diba? Ang nanay, gano'n na gano'n.
Totoo yan.
Ang tatay medyo hindi. Medyo magkakaroon ng ibang
yung
peg. Pero ang nanay, pupunta dun sa anak na mukhang nahihirapan.
Yung nangangailangan.
Animals o mga tuta, pinupuntahan nila yung aning sisiw na hindi makatakbo, yung aso na medyo mabangga-bangga. Why is that? That seems to be
kailangan ka eh.
Talaga. At meron sometimes
your role is to be there to when they need you.
Hindi nila tutulungan. May tutulungan din nila yung successful na or something.
Of course, kanya-kanyang style. Minsan may mga nanay who think that may kailangan palakasin ko yung anak ko. So, you push them out of the nest. You, alam mo yun, like throwing them off the deep end.
Okay.
Diba? Para matuto mag-survive. Meron din naman mga ganon. Yung iba, kailangan kailangan ng konting leg up ito. So, you provide that kind of assistance also. It never stops eh. Tapos, ang sabi nila, you're not the same mother to all your kids. Sabi nila ng mga ng psychologists, the new thing now is that you did not have the same family. All of you, magkakapatid kayo, mother, father, kids. Pero iba-iba, like iba yung economic situation ko nung sa panganay ko, iba yung sa bunso. So maswerte yung bunso kasi by the time nag-aaral siya, it was easier for me. Pero yung sa panganay, gapang kami pareho. Diba? So, you did not have the same parents. Okay. My eldest had a very young mom. My youngest had a much older one. Okay. So, iba na yung parenting style ko by the time umabot dun sa bunso.
Merong advantages at disadvantages yung isa at advantages at disadvantages.
I spent more time with the older kids. So, because, after that, kasi malayo yung bunso eh. Lalo na, he was 8 years after the third, namatay pa yung sa gitna. So, ang laki ng gap. I had that time to, go back to school. I went to law school. I passed the bar. I established a career. And then, he was born. So much later. So, unang-una, he had older siblings who could take over pag wala ako.
Okay.
So, hindi lang ako yung nanay niya, yung ate niya, nagnananay sa kanya, yung mga kuya niya, tinututor siya nung lumalaki siya. So, he had more in terms of At the same time, ang dami niyang pananagutan kasi mas stricto yung mga kapatid eh. So, nababaston siya parati. Figuratively speaking.
On the contrast naman, siguro marami nakaka-relate dito. Nung stage naman na ikaw na isang vastly successful at famous na...
I don't know what that means.
Vastly successful at famous na attorney. Di ba, you're very, ang tawag dito, yung... kilala ka and siguro both financially mas stable. How ano ang diferensya naman doon sa
I think yung older kids may advantage kasi nai-enjoy nila. The youngest doesn't know about the hard times So the older ones, they appreciate.
Alam mo ba nung bata?
Yung mga older ones, na-appreciate nila, nakikita nila na. Yung panganay nga there was a time na nag-work na siya, nasa US siya, but he was still siguro a year ahead of graduation or so. Papadala siya ng $5 sa mga kapatid niya. Oy, sasabihin niya, wag na kayong humingi ng luho sa nanay ito na ang gamitin ninyo. So there was a time na nagte-take over siya. I never asked them to do that, but at least para sa akin advantage yung younger ones kasi may kuya may ate, may kuya na nag-aalaga din sa kanila. So the older ones naman, I spent more time with them. Kasi si Rafi, yung panganay ko, I was still in school, so nag-aaral ako sa bahay. When they were younger, I was in law school. Sometimes mag-aaral lahat kami sa library. As in lahat kami. Tatlong bata dala ko sa library ng law school. My classmates remember this.
You must have been a sight,
Yeah, my classmates remember this. Na dala-dala ko yung dalawa. At tapos minsan yung youngest. At the time yung third, yung youngest. So we had that time na para sa kanila tapos I had time to teach them. I taught them to read early. Hindi altruistic yun. I needed to get them out of my hair. So I taught them to read when they were very young. I had the time. So una, you teach them colors, you teach them shapes, and then you teach them the letters. So when they were reading on their own, may time na ako para sa sarili ko. Kasi when they're very young, you don't have time to finish a thought. Kasi yung eldest ko was 5 years older than the next one. Pero yung second and third, magkasunod sila. 1 year apart lang talaga. Well, 1 year and 2 months apart lang. So, para ako may twins.
Okay.
So in order to get them out of my hair, kahit maka 10 minutes ka lang to finish a thought in your head, tinuruan ko sila magbasa. So you just dump books on them. My mother-in-law was a nursery school teacher.
So babagsak mo ng iPad or something.
Wala pa nun. So yun, they had that advantage also. They read. Oo. Nagbabasa sila. Yung older ones.
True.
They read talaga. And they know how to look for information even. So it was easy for them to adapt to an electronic society. In younger one, I don't know if he will be able to adapt if you turn off the electricity and the internet.
Siya yung aasahan mo pag may Gcash o kung ano-anong isa pang naisip ko, ang nanay kasi nabanggit mo nga kanina, I don't know if this is again part of the flaws of the males of the species. Ang mga tatay, ewan ko, minsan masyado malakas ang dating, yun ang mahilig magsabi. Nung panahon namin ganito, ang nanay mo kung hindi sinasabi yan, one, either it's implicit or two, makuha, there's something right there and then na po-convey na yun.
Baka biology rin. Because ako hindi ko na, even if the times were very hard nung umpisa na, alam ko at some point umiiyak-iyak ako. When you look back on it wasn't hard. Parang ganun. Parang sa akin siguro, yung memory ko baka it might be an advantage na I don't see that. I see them as learning experiences. At saka yun nga I spent so much time with the kids when they were younger. So ang ano ko nga is, yung regret ko is not exactly a regret, but with the youngest, I didn't spend as much time with him, but he did spend more time with his siblings.
Okay lang naman.
So may trade-offs din yung sa kanya. So Pero yung older ones, I took them to museums. I took them to the National Library. Ang tambayan nila noon, yung Orchidarium, because I was working in the cultural agencies. So, nakakaano sila. They, sometimes I would take them when I would lecture in, out of town.
So, parang yung mga nauna
Sama
mga
ko sila.
parang mas well-rounded, mas na-expose sa mas maraming bagay-bagay.
They actually, after a while, they would enjoy yung mga tipong, also, what they do is they get me started. Na, kunwari, nagda-drive ako, we're going somewhere. Say, you're going to Baguio. Tapos sabihin, nanay, ano yung ganito? And then, it would start off a lecture like, a long time ago, when the Cordilleras were like this and so on. They were never conquered. So, yung mga history lessons nila were yung kwentuhan namin sa kotse. Yung problem is, yun nga, the youngest was very, very young during those times. So, I don't know if he remembers those things. So, when he was older, talagang I would have to make an effort. Pagka bakasyon siya, sasama ko siya dun sa mga trips ko. So, but, yun nga, yung sayang, meron siya dapat kabatch, namatay yung isang anak ko. Sila yung magkadikit yung age.
So, baka naman iba natutunan niya ngayon, iba ang kanyang pananaw.
Well, yeah, but he's the one deeper into the arts. He's a composer. Yung dalawang boys ko compose music. So,
ayos yan. Well, that's nice to hear. Mga taga-subaybay, nakita niyong kasaysayan, napakatuloy kasaysayan, na bilang ina ni Atty. Trix. Which brings me, again, this may be unfair to the guy I will be talking about, potentially because I have not heard it, and that's very unfair. There's this guy, apparently he won some contest nun, Big Brother yata, at now podcaster siya. Ang pangalan niya Slater Young. I don't know if you've heard of this.
Vaguely.
Okay.
No, Slater Young.
But in a nutshell, ganito, apparently he has a podcast. He's very popular among millennials. And in one of his podcasts, alam mo naman ngayon ng social media, one of the greatest things about social media, everybody has a voice. One of the worst things about social media is everybody has a fucking voice. So, apparently, this guy has a voice. And he mentioned, at kasama pa niya ang misis niya, siguro kasama niya misis niya sa podcast, na may nagpapadala ng mga letters sa mga tao dito sa kanya. Sa kanyang show. At may nagtanong na, wow, is this wrong? I fantasize about women.
Okay.
Notwithstanding na meron na akong asawa or girlfriend, ganyan. Sinagot niya, that's perfectly okay. In fact, sabi niya, that's very, very okay. Sinabi niya, very, very okay. All men fantasize about women, even if they have other partners. But he didn't stop there. Ako, I would have siguro, okay, some guy who is trying to be cute or so. He added na, in fact, we have a chat group or something, sa mga chat group, that us men, we talk about this. We talk about the women we're fantasizing na kakilala ko, or kahit hindi kakilala. And thus, we discuss it. And we fantasize in whatever vivid detail na mga lalaki, how men do it. At nandun yung misis niya sa booth din, sa podcast. At tinanong, ikaw, okay ka ba sa... Yeah, okay lang sa akin yun, kumanong din ang misis niya. Now it has created a firestorm of opinion na... alam mo na, whether kasama sa woke culture to or how this guy was brought up, I don't know. And made me think as well kung paano kami mga lalaki. But siguro nung mga bata-bata, but now as you get older, such juvenile, di ba? Hindi mo na siguro naiisip. I would rather think about others. But nakuha mo yung sinasabi nga na, it's okay to fantasize. And then, he didn't stop there. He said there's a chat group daw. Yun na nga, look, no touch. Okay na sana yun. But then, they share it. Lalo na sa social media, may chat groups. Wow, si ganyan. Okay, siguro kung nakita namin, nakasama namin sa beach, ito suit niya. Damn, siguro ganyan-ganyan siya. No? She must be great in bed, you know. Then that's how they talk. And they're a bunch of guys in a chat group. At pinag-uusapan nila mga babae, gano'n.
What? You think women don't do that?
Women don't do that. Okay.
What?
So your sons can actually do that. Okay lang.
There's a times complaining.
Nanay, please.
Kumakain kami. One of those rare times na may time kami lahat para sa isa't isa. Tapos, and then they start, son number 2, which is child number 3, said something. I said something. I don't even remember what. He says something like, "That's what she said." And they just start laughing. I know the joke. You know that?
Okay.
They take something pretty innocuous and then they turn it really gross and green and they'll say something like that.
Yeah.
So that's what she said.
Boys
Then they start cracking jokes with each other and I keep, my fork on the glass and say, "Yo, why can't you be like normal kids and hide these things from your mother?" But they do. So it happens. The boys don't tell me that they're shyer. Yung girl ko sobrang lets it all hang out. Pero yung guys, they don't tell me this, but they do admit na they'll think about other women other than their significant others. So look, don't touch. So what? Even my male friends, they talk about
fantasize.
They have chat groups.
Yun na nga, they have
about
chat
these
groups
things.
and they talk about these things.
Look, don't touch. As long as what are you going to do? Stop them from thinking?
I don't know. For example, meron ako mga brad na sa aming, it's like a fraternity of sorts. But then we're already in our 50s and 60s. They'd share jokes or film clips, the short na
may
nakakatawa.
pictures pa. They trade pictures. I know
but
these things.
that's about it. We would never, may asim pa at ganto-ganto. Because one...
That's gross.
That's gross. That's off. But I don't know. Kids nowadays,
it's sexist, misogynist, and all those
issues. Have you heard of MILF?
Yes, I have. Okay, I know what that is.
So, malay mo ganun mag-usap ng mga kamataan. I don't know. But, so, what you're saying is that's okay. What's his name? This guy is later, what's his name?
Okay. What did he say?
Yun na nga, may chat group kami. And puro mga lalaki kami. We discuss girls na kilala namin and we fantasize about, we have fantasies about them. And then, of course, pag gano'n, mga lalaki, yun sabi mo nga, they start cracking gross jokes. Sila lang naman. Gano'n. But the thing is, in a podcast, in a public podcast, he said that all. Katabi pa niya, misis niya sinabi, okay lang naman siya, okay lang sa akin, boys will be boys. But there was a whole firestorm ngayon ng mga...
ng wokeism.
Yeah.
And now they're saying, na it's misogynist. Look, ganito, the difference is, yung women will say, uy, cute si ganon.
Okay,
I think he has a cute butt. May mga ganyan. Okay, fine. We don't go to the extent of exchanging pictures. Although sometimes it will be yung mga tipong, what is that? Sometimes I post pictures of Keanu Reeves. Okay, so we'll everybody, and then my female friends will go, yes, he's cute, but you have to understand he's mine, right? So I think it's just a matter of a difference of style. Women are just more aware of sensibilities and sensitivities. But when men get together, and as far as they know, sila lang naman yan.
Parang locker room, parang kay Trump.
Locker room mentality. But as long as it does not translate into
actual rape, harassment,
or any misogynistic action,
invasion of space, mga ganon.
For me, even the law is like that. As long as kayo, di ba, may Safe Spaces Act, which I find really inclusive. Pero kung kayo lang, okay lang. But once you put in another party, an outsider, babae, LGBTQ, they will not understand. It no longer, the safe space is guaranteed to the outsider. So they also have to be careful. But that's my point. If sila lang, are we going to police these private spaces? I think it's not fair. I think that everybody has a right to privacy, a right to have some place to let it all hang out, and that we shouldn't interfere or even intrude in conversations like this. So what? But I don't know anybody with a police record that for me, these are places where you can actually articulate, and the danger in not allowing them. If you don't allow them to articulate,
there will be a school of thought siguro yung mga nag-complain na well, that's where it starts. And that's how diyan nagsisimula yung what do you call this, yung what do you call it? Sa mga lalaki, yung sense of, yung entitlement na, I can insult women, I can, and take it a few steps further.
What? Women don't insult men?
You're always going in that direction, Atty.
Because
they can do it. We're talking about
it's
a
not that
culture of impunity.
if they can do it, we can do it. When they do this,
baka mag-translate ito in future into something worse.
Look, even our laws are we don't hindi na gender bound ang rape laws. So safe spaces is to protect the
kami rin
diba?
Nung basketball player ako, binubusoan kami.
Ewan ko, maybe it's because most of my kids, I only have one daughter, namatay nga yung isa. So I worry about my boys na they will be the put upon, be put upon because masyadong woke. yung outside world.
I feel so uncomfortable. Siguro baka matanda na ako. For example, again, I don't know if this is controversial. Baka maging parang Slater yang ako nito.
What?
Philippine women's volleyball seems so popular.
Yeah.
It's on TV. I dare say, I have extreme suspicion maraming lalaking nanonood to for other reasons aside from the sheer athleticism and gripping story of sports. I have a deep suspicion.
Of course.
May mga tao nakikita.
Do you think that men watch women's tennis for the sheer athleticism of the sport?
I agree. Okay. You got me there. I'm one of those. But
seriously.
Again, I'm a sports guy. I like watching those.
Yeah, I know.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Or again, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing.
What are you going to do? Stop them from looking?
Yeah, na-increase yung ticket sales.
No, here's my problem. My problem with wokeism is it's so impractical.
Okay.
They want to impose a value because they're already so evolved. They're not waiting for the rest of the world to catch up. Meaning, it's going to really cause so much dissent. If they really want the ethics to evolve, they want men to be less caveman and more civilized, they're going to have to do it in increments. Articulate the value that they want to impose, but at the same time understand that the world has to catch up. And for me, it is what it is. Okay, men are dogs. Diba? Men are dogs, and as long as they don't commit any crimes, sige, I can take it. You have to.
Okay.
What are you going to do? Change the world by yourself? Change the world with educating people?
But still, paring, what's his name? Slater, ayos na, okay, I understand. Lalo na ito ko inexplikahan ni Atty. Trixie. But you know what, Padre, ewan ko baga, siguro naman, doon na lang sa chat group niya. Pag itong public podcast, hindi mo na siguro kailangan sabihin yun or something. And I admire him. Sinabi pa sa harap ng misis mo, there you go. I mean, but
one last before mag-break. Sabi ni G. Dumaging dito sa YouTube natin.
Okay.
Nag-attend daw siya ng Miss You. One time, kakilala siya na photographer. Ang Zoom daw kung saan-saan. Okay. Now, that's one thing. I understand that, and it could be deemed hugely offensive.
Okay.
Here's the problem. If the woman goes into a public space, then you also have to understand that this is what's going. There's no reasonable expectation of privacy.
Open season na ikaw.
You're outside, you're in public, you'll dress that way. People will take pictures. And you might be the subject of comment. Sure, as long as you don't cross into her space, you don't touch, you don't, hindi mo rin mumurahin, wala rin dapat unjust vexation and all that. Pero, for everything else, because you've put yourself into the public sphere, ganun yan even yung mga personalities, yung mga celebrities, ganyan, once they're out in public, you can't say you can't take my picture or you shouldn't use my picture. You're in the public space. Once you hold yourself out there, it's your fair game for photographers.
Wag kang
yung mumurahin ka hindi pa rin pwede. 'Di ba? You can't get pushed, you can't get shoved. These are all crimes.
Quick I went to an event. There was this brand ambassador. Napakaganda niya. She's quite a celebrity. In fact, asawa niya politiko. Naku, naano ko na siya. Sabi ko na. And she was wearing really something that I'm sure you would not wear in Karambola. And of course, di nakaganon kami. But then she put there out there, kunan mo ako and all that, but no personal questions. Well,
Pwede naman. Yeah. You can set boundaries pagka ganun. Kasi iba yan because they're
Then later,
expecting
nung
an
nagsasalita
answer.
siya, binanggit din pala niya yung personal. But,
Basta siya yung nagbukas.
Siya nagbukas. Okay.
So, ako, that's how it is. Magbabalik ang Karambola. Oras natin, 8:35 ng umaga.
Balikan natin ang ating mga karambulista at ang programa Karambola sa DWIZ.
Karambola, Karambola.
Nagbabalik ang Karambola kasama sa himpilan, Jonathan De La Cruz, Joel Lacsamana. Ako po si Trixie Cruz Angeles. Morning, Boss Donald.
Magandang morning.
Magandang umaga, Boss
Magandang
Kong.
umaga sa ating lahat, mga kaibigan. Magandang umaga, Trixie. Magandang umaga, Joel. Si paring Conrad,
meron siyang...
Ang haba naman ng paghahanda niya. Sa 18 pa tayo, pupunta doon kay Cesar.
Hindi, naisip ko baka nabigla din sa Mother's Day. Maraming. Si Conrad,
naglaba?
Maraming
Dinoble? Naglaba? Nagluto? Nagplansya, gano'n? Medyo, dapat merong araw yan,
Hindi ako naisip si Conrad, maraming mother, so to speak. So, maraming... si Conrad, yung mga gaya ni Conrad.
Maraming mother-in-law. Hindi, gusto ko lang i-clarify dun sa YouTube, sabi ng ni Sir Francis, nag-Happy Mother's Day kasi yung anak ko, was flying. So, I put a note dun sa wheel ng eroplano, sa steering wheel ng eroplano niya. Happy Mother's Day from your favorite child. I would just like to clarify na all of my kids call themselves the favorite child.
Kaya walang
lahat sila nag-a-ambition. So, si Rafi lang yung pinakamaingay para pati yung daughter ko. Ganun din. Di ba ako yung favorite mo? So, lahat sila sinasabihan ko, oo, ikaw yung favorite panganay, favorite second child, favorite third, ganyan.
Ang tingin itong ng Mother's Day, ano saan ba nang galing ito? Kasi sabi nga ni Kasani Escudero, parang Christmas yan. Every day is Christmas Day. Parang every day should be Mother's Day. Or something like that.
Dapat.
Next month naman daw, Father's
Day.
Father's Day next month.
Ano yan, mga marketing operations ba to?
Agurado.
Ng mga
flower shops.
Amerika magaling sa mga ganito
Totoo, magaling sila mag-invento ng holiday.
At saka nakagawa na isang malaking industriya ng
super
everything, ng mga bagay-bagay na naibibigay both sa mother at sa father. Dikahonem, kurbata, whatever, cufflinks.
Pero sa mother iba. You have to find out.
Kailangan alamin mo.
Ang naubusan daw yung mga bulaklak sa dangmo
Uy, final. At least kumikita na sila. Grabe dati, awang-awa ako sa kanila.
Wala yan.
Parang ghost town ng ang Dos Castilla Street nun. Sa
Alam mo, may mga ganyan na mga areas Halimbawa, yung pinupuntahan palagi ni Trixie pag Christmas. Doon sa may Quiapo. Okay. May mga Hopia. May mga areas na ganyan na kung gusto mo ng ganitong pinakamasarap na
Hamon,
Hopia,
dati,
Hamon,
tatlo yan
Ito yun.
sa isang lugar. Para siyang may distrito.
Parang may distrito,
Pati sa dati sa Domingo, ang tawag ko doon cholesterol.
Yes.
Kasi sunod-sunod na mga yung lechon kawali, yung pero masarap lahat.
Sa pagdating
crispy pata.
Pero hindi natin napupuntahan, dapat puntahan natin yun. Banawi, alam mo,
nakakapunta ko rin.
Yung Chinatown, na mga masasarap na kainan Chinatown, nandun na ngayon sa Banawi. Balita ko.
Oo. Kasi nag-evolve yan yung Banawi. Kasi di ba doon yung
lahat ng spare
parts ng mga kotse. Tapos nagkaroon ng repair places. Doon yung bagsakan ng murang parts.
Yes.
Pag mag-iintay ka ng kotse mo na nire-repair, maganda yung kakainan ka. So, yung restaurant buo ngayon ng car row. So, gustong-gusto ko yung mga na yan kasi labanan yan everything is in one place. It's also good for business.
Yes.
Kasi kahit yung mga restaurants, gusto nila where there are other restaurants. Para natural na yung marketing doon. You market the district.
As a matter of fact, mas maayos dapat yun raw, para
Alam mo, sa totoo lang, napansin ko pa, mas madali pa nga makakuha ng parking. Doon nagagawa ng paraan kesa sa mall.
Totoo yan.
Totoo yan. Ganyan
What's your carboy?
In a very real sense, ganyan din nangyayari sa ngayon in the case of what President Marcos is doing, which is US, Pinupuntahan ka namin, Europe, nag-ano kayo, mag-invest kayo rito. Pero alam mo ba, despite everything else, Trixie at Joel, ang mga Chinese, very, very active. Hindi lang hindi lumalabas. Kagaya ngayon, that's what, kaya ako nakaganito because I'm going to attend a signing ceremony for the long delayed kasi panahon pa ni President Duterte, tapos na to dapat yung Panay River multi-purpose dam dyan sa tapas sa Capiz. It's supposed to be a project of National Irrigation Administration, irrigation
agriculture to, may power din.
Agriculture at saka power and water. Kasi wala nang tubig ang Iloilo City. This is ipapipe nila from that particular dam. And hindi na wala yung mga originally inano yan ng local government ng si good morning Mayor Nonong Palomar at yung mga
morning po. Iloilo to.
Yes, sa Capiz. Oo. Ngayon, hindi na wala yung mga Chinese companies. Ngayon, it's China Energy. Kung sabi niya, hindi. Kasi sabi, wala ho kaming pera para gumawa na ng feasibility. Yung tapos na, engineering and feasibility study. Sabi nila, no, kami na. We will finance that so that we can continue with this kasi may kasama rin na, in that particular area. It's a huge area kasi itong tapas na ito. And it's at the boundary of, tri-boundary ito Iloilo, Antique at saka Aklan. Mayroon silang workout doon. And
may mga kaibigan ako ron
tapos meron silang nung panahon ni si President Duterte, sabi niya, sige, tuloy na natin to. Inano na niya. Pumunta pa nga siya doon at lahat. Hindi natapos dahil walang pera ang gobyerno na magawa ng mga final na feasibility studies at lahat. Sabi nito mga China Energy Company, kami na lang. We will just finance that. We will do the final update, the feasibility studies and engineering design.
Pupunta mo signing
na. They'll finance. They will do it na.
Wow.
Kailan ang completion nito?
Siguro before the end of the term of the president.
Tapos ilang capacity?
Malaki ito.
MLD.
Ang estimate nila is about more than 1 million Malaki. At saka 300 or 200
It's
megawatts.
A dam.
Dam.
Okay.
At saka yung series.
Hindi yung
so mini dams na sunod-sunod. Series dams.
Series.
Less
parang
yan.
wheels yan. Yung umaapaw.
Correct.
Yan.
Dapat ganun yung sa kaliwa.
Actually, mas mabuti yun.
Less ang environmental damage.
Yung impact na sa environment, less trees ang mapuputol.
Workout mo dyan.
Right.
At mas maliit yung babahain mo na lugar.
So, ito? And then they have 250, 300 megawatts. Tapos meron din silang solar. Sila rin. This Chinese company. Solar farm, 500 megawatts. And they're going to continue with the program of President Duterte and Secretary Simato. 5,000 hectares of bamboo plantation.
Wow! Iba-ibang klaseng bamboo.
Magandang mabisita.
Ang daming species ng bamboo,
Maganda ito.
Lalo na pag
And there's so many that are here. Na kinocultivate yung giant ngayon, di ba? Yung giant bamboo. Ganun kalaki yung
That's an excellent
as a matter of fact, alam mo ba, over the weekend, Joel at Trixie, I got to talk with the sister of Jack Ma.
Okay.
Rebecca Ma.
Jack Ma.
Okay.
She is a lawyer. Napaka-ano niya. Tapos sabi niya, I've been here before the pandemic. We tried to do some things, small things. It's not huge things. Sabi niya, we are investing, trying to do some things, etc. But it's very hard to talk with your bureaucracy.
National o LGU?
Oh my God. Oo.
Sabi niya, sabi niya, you know, for example, in our case, we do small investments, we do some things, etc. But we also do some other things, cultural, etc. Excited
May
siya na.
cultural exchange agreement tayo with China from the 70s.
Excited siya nung sinabi ko, Trixie, Joel, na alam mo, rundown na yung Philippine High School for the Arts in Los Baños. Oh, is that so? Sabi niya, let's take a look at it. We may be able to help because we want to have some exchanges and I understand before you had some folk, you have bayanihan, etc. And everything. Where are these now?
They lost their home kasi yung folk arts is
So sabi niya, we want to do these things because in our province, tiga Sichuan siya.
Okay.
Sichuan sila.
Sichuan.
Sabi niya, we want to do these kind of things and we want to work with the universities as well, aside from just investing. Sabi niya, they are also going to invest in solar and then yung agriculture. Sabi niya, we are working on agriculture. We want to do some things in agriculture. Pero yung nagtaka ako doon sa culture and the arts, sabi niya,
rin sila ron,
and you know, in Sichuan, we have a Lantern Festival. It's an international festival and we would like to invite the lantern makers of the Philippines.
Pampanga.
Sabi, okay ito. Sabi ko, one of these days we should have some kind of tayo lang, Karambola, and then we can.
In a way, dovetails sa dapat sa DTI, tourism,
creative industry.
Creative industry. So, maano siya. Sabi niya, but it's very hard. Hindi siya nagko-complain. We gave some we gave some introductory letters, etc. That was about a year ago. Parang hindi sinasagot.
Oh my gosh.
Sabi ko, kambambira.
Grabe, nakakahiya eh.
Mabuti na, dito pa to. Sabi ko nga eh.
Usually pag ganyan, magpa-partner with some private sector.
Natin sa private sector.
The private sector.
Private sector.
And then the universities.
Kasi private sector may connection
And then universities. Like sabi niya, we heard that you had the madrigal singers, yung mga ganon, and then you had these folkloric dance groups. We want to do something.
Mahina ngayon ng
parang ganon din.
Noon, ang lakas namin, well, this was the time, Dr. Laya, all the way up to nung si Ambet, ang head ng NCCA, ang dalas niyan. Kasi nga, may existent cultural exchange agreement that was signed during the first Marcos administration.
Yes.
So, ang lakas, that's why we send scholars there. Ang lakas natin magpadala ng And in fact, they send journalists and now will be one of the first batch of bloggers that will be sent to China.
Iba yun. And then sabi niya, we want to do these things. We can have you can have in a specific university, you can have Chinese studies. In our university, we can have Filipino studies. We can have exchanges. Teachers, students, and the like. And then, of course, IT. Kasi IT nga sila, Jackma nga eh. So, they want to work on these things.
Tama yung ganyan.
We had...
Hindi naman sila demonize ng US State Department.
Hindi. Kasi in the previous administration, meron silang talks na ganyan that I inherited sa Press Secretary's office. And we continued because they want to look at our broadcast facilities and help if they can. Kasi di ba, ang daming donated na equipment sa PTV dati. Pero nandun yun sa Davao, dun sa I don't know why they built it in Davao. The broadcast technology now is you can broadcast from anywhere. So it was not even necessary to put it in Davao.
Put up nga ng building
ayusin lang yun nandito. At any rate, we inherited that. And so we're working out yung mga ganyan. Maraming gustong mag-donate ng It was a matter of making sure that interoperability ng equipment mo. At saka, yung purposes. So, yung cultural exchange agreement, I was very aware of that. So, it was easy to, pwede bang ipalabas yung Philippine programs sa kanila, while at the same time, pwede rin naman tayong tumanggap ng programs nila. So, that's part of the exchange agreement. Tapos, you also want programs that explore yung common heritage. So, yun yung dapat itinitake up ngayon ng NCCA. But medyo tahimik eh.
Siguro kausapin natin ng NCCA because it's now under a new administration anyway. So, baka mas maayos sila dyan. And then sabi niya, we understand that Binondo is the biggest Chinatown outside of China.
And one of the oldest.
Sabi niya,
In fact, the oldest daw eh.
We can probably explore some things. Pero gusto niya programmatic. In other words, institutional. And then, of course, people to people exchanges.
I think we should start with food.
Okay sa kanya yun. Yung food.
Diba?
Yung food festival.
Because that's common heritage.
Okay sa akin yun.
At saka, sabi ko, before, during the time when now President Marcos was the governor of our province in Ilocos, sabi ko, we wanted to put up some kind of yung parang yung Guangzhou Fair. Every year, merong yung fair, yung nandun lahat yung mga products, etc. from various sources. Sabi, that's a very good idea. Why don't we work it out and do it in Ilocos? Sabi ko, yeah, of course, why not? Work out.
Ano maganda pa kaya yan mag-i-ease nung particular tensions na times crop up, di ba, between Philippine-China relations. Sa pinapaypayan naman ng sektor.
Hindi,
diba?
we have to remember na lahat ng diplomatic relations, iba-ibang level na pwedeng hiwalay-hiwalay. So, trade agreements, diplomatic agreements, yung mga territorial claims, security, culture. Yun yung una nating treaty with China. So, well, it's not a treaty, para executive agreement siya. Cultural exchange. So, most of the time, it's China who takes our scholars. Ang dami nilang benefits. Kaya nga nung di ba, naiwan doon sina Mario Miklas.
Yes, marami.
Sina Chito Santa Roana.
Jimmy Crocus,
our current ambassador.
Saka sina Eric Bacolina. So, there was, tama si Trixie, levels yan. Of course, there was a party-to-party arrangement.
Okay.
It happens.
So, may party naman. Well, the China is ruled by a certain party, and you talk to that party.
Of course.
So, ang problema rin kasi some people are reacting to the term communist. So, when you're dealing with a country that is communist, it's easy to mistake yung local politics natin with the international one. With those are two completely opposed ideas, actually. So, and if you look at communism Chinese style,
iba yan.
Iba.
It's one. Sa totoo lang, it's really a different flavored capitalism.
State capitalism.
State capitalism.
Kaya nga kagaya ngayon, there are like we have our own PDP Laban, NUP, yung mga lakas, etc. They have party-to-party talks with the CCP. Communist Party of China, of the People's Republic. Nagagalit yung iba, ba't ka nakikipag... party to party nga Hindi mag-usap kayo.
PDP Laban with the...
with the CCP. Diba?
We have a president kasi who has no party So, it's not unusual for these two.
Baka yung mga party list na yung mga naturally affiliated sa China nagseselo. So, bakit yung kinakausap yan? Dapat kami lang.
Hindi sila interesado because they have been cut off already. A long time ago pa. Hindi na sila the same. They're not ideologically the same anymore. Well, not for 20 plus years, more than 20 years, 30 years na.
Kaya ang nangyayari, halimbawa PDP Laban, NUP, NPC, these are the parties that work.
They have more in common.
They have
usually stage na ganyan.
Ganun.
Samantalang sila stuck in the past.
Yes. Parang ganun.
Stuck in the past yung mga datihan.
Hello. Welcome to the 21st century.
Most of the leaders, most of the leaders, including Xi Jinping, went through rehabilitation camps. Kaya yung mga yan, yan?
So they know what it's like.
So they know what it's like.
So,
meanwhile, ganun naman talaga. US din naman gumagawa ng ganyan. Diba? Japan. Sinasabi nga ni Conrad at saka ni Senyor Ray, they had the 3-week
Oo,
orientation.
Yeah.
In Japan, iba naman ang ginawa nila dalawang to.
So, mate, while we're on the topic of international relations, such as it is, yung sa Kuwait, do you know what happened here? Ano nangyari dito sa I know lang that they're denying visas or no longer recognizing visas except for those that are in residence.
Already there. Yeah.
Pero
So,
mga 3,000 daw affected, di ba?
Of course. Because yan yung mga hindi pipeline napapunta dapat.
ano nangyari? What was the violation? I'm not seeing
No,
it.
I think it was more of, di ba nagkaroon ng kiskisan because of what happened to
yung
pinatay
kababayan natin.
Yes, kababayan natin. And of course, necessarily we have to react and do something about it. And
diba, now, they worked out an agreement with the former president and it was going well. So yung ano ko is, what happened? What was there?
Hindi nagkasalo.
Nagkaroon ng escalation. And then, unfortunately, we have a new group of diplomats, Filipinos there na hindi nila na follow through yung mga ginawa.
Interesado, may mga taga-subaybay tayo, I'm sure, nasa Middle East. They would want to know anumang sitwasyon.
Not getting any info.
Ang main issue, of course, we have to make sure that justice take its course, no? Pagdating dyan sa mga ganyan. Ang parang sinasabi ng mga Kuwaiti officials or something, you have about 200,000 workers here. 2 or 3 sometimes get into this kind of problem.
Yes.
Does that mean that we have to escalate and make it a big issue for all of us, making us look like we are a band we are a country.
So umabot doon. Minasama
oppressive
nila.
Sila.
Parang ganon. At ano ba yan? Parang ganon.
Ang tanong ko siguro kung John, that escalation did that emanate mula dito sa what do you call it, sa Ross Boulevard or doon sa
hindi, ang ano niyan
Ross
is
Boulevard
the other groups outside of the government. Yan ang mga tumulak ng kung ano. Ay, kailangan ganito, ganyan, etc. Hindi na salo nung ating bagong ambassador doon. Dati kasi si Ambassador Lumondot, nasasalo niya In other words, nakakausap niya yung mga nasa
yun ang trabaho nila.
Yun ang trabaho mo
ruffle feathers.
Smooth
diplomatic.
You have to be able to do that Especially in the Middle East na parang tayo face to face.
Hindi ka taga-Congress, taga-Senate dito ng babana.
No. Kailangan meron kang
may tao ka doon
just to again, ang hirap magsabi, hindi ko alam kung ano nangyari.
Yan ang nangyari doon. I think nawala doon si Ambassador Lumondot and then we have a new ambassador. Parang hindi pa niya nakakapa.
Hindi pa gamay.
Parang
kasi for the Kuwait government to do that, nag-escalate.
Nag-escalate talaga.
Mahirap yung kausap pala
Parang something like that.
At ngayon, apektado nga yung ating mga kababayan.
And we hope that we'll be able to balance things somehow. Especially in the Middle East, parang tayo yan, Asian Yung mga mukha.
Face.
Parang ginawa nyo naman kami, parang napaka...
barbaric country na
you have 200,000 workers here in the country. 5, for example, got into this kind of a problem. Can we not just talk about it and work it out?
And we'll fix the problem.
It cannot be nangyari sa media or something. Layo niyan, di nila papansinin yun It's something happened sa discussion nila.
Yes, I think so. It happened ganyan.
So, ang tingin ko dapat, unang gagawin natin dito is de-escalate.
Which should really be...
Ganyan naman talaga dapat sa diplomacy. You de-escalate para there's room to talk for negotiations.
Hindi mo pinipaint in the corner.
Hindi pa talaga malinaw kung ano yung trigger dito. But we're waiting for news on this one. In the meantime, tayo din, wag natin i-escalate yung issue. Ang daming trabaho na affected. Hindi tayo prepared for the outflow of this.
Like for example, right now, one of the main issues here sa kanila rin is yung bagal ng ang bagal ng processing, etc. Yung ganung klase. A lot of those things, small things that can lead to bigger problems. Yung mga nasisira yung sistema namin and everything. Yung ganon. And then, alam mo ba, For example, pagpunta sa Middle East, most of these countries, you have to have a medical certificate. Yung visa mo mag-expire. All of these things cost money. Hindi ang laki ng problema mo pag ang bagal mo mag-process or something like that. Mga ganong klase. And then of course, I also understand mayroon ng mga business na fail in terms of relationships. Kasi there was supposed to be the Kuwait Fund, World Fund, that was supposed to invest in the Philippines for some. Hindi rin nasalo yun.
Oh.
Parang nagkaroon nila with the...
Somebody dropped the ball here.
Malalim-lalim yun.
Medyo.
Kasi ang mas naiisip ko, Atty. Trixie, kung Jonathan, is potentially, again, nanguhulala ko yung, di ba yung nangyari nga ng case nung kababayan natin, baka yung prosecution nung kung sino man ang inaakusahan o may sala ay baka nababagalan yung ating mga diplomatic officials doon sa proseso at ang bagal yan, ba't hindi nyo pa hinuhuli yan o ba't hindi, baka gano'n
it can happen.
Kaya nga
but then yung sinasabi, Kuwaiti Fund ka pa sinasabi, mas mabigay.
May mga business activities.
They were going to invest
here. They were going to invest they got into some trouble somehow.
Okay.
So marami rin yan.
So I think, so ibig sabihin may
sana
mga issues talaga tayo sa ating local red tape for investment.
Yes.
So siguro DTI, you want to
take a look at
this kasi benta ng benta ang presidente natin. Pagdating dito, hindi maka-invest yung mga tao. Sayang. It's all wasted effort. Magbabalik ang Karambola. Oras natin 9:05 ng umaga.
Karambola sa DWIZ.